Who is María José Cristerna? María José Cristerna Mendez is a Mexican lawyer, tattoo artist, businesswoman, and activist who became internationally famous because of her extreme body modifications. She is popularly known as the Vampire Woman, La Mujer Vampiro, although she has also said that she prefers the name the Jaguar Woman. She was born in Guadalajara, Jalisco, Mexico, in 1976. Guinness World Records identified her as the holder of the record for most body modifications by a female, with 49 modifications, verified in 2012. Her appearance includes extensive tattoos, facial and body piercings, dental modifications, a split tongue and implants beneath the skin. Her childhood and family. Cristerna grew up in Guadalajara, Mexico, in what Guinness describes as a very religious family. She is the eldest of 2 siblings. Her father initially did not approve of her decision to get a tattoo. Interestingly, however, he eventually supported her enough to take her to a tattoo studio for her first tattoo. Cristerna has explained that she was interested in art from an early age. She eventually found a way to use her own body as a form of artistic expression. There are also older interviews in which she described being exposed to different cultures during her childhood because her father traveled for work. She said that time spent in England introduced her to the punk subculture and helped develop her interest in tattoos and alternative forms of appearance. When did she start body modification? This is one of the most interesting parts of her story. There are different accounts for the very first modification, depending on what is being counted as a body modification. According to Guinness World Record's 2022 profile, she received her first tattoo at a very young age. It was the logo of her favorite Swedish metal band, Bathory, on her left arm. Another interview with Cristerna reports that she had her first nose piercing at approximately 12 years old, followed by her first tattoo at 14. She said that after turning 18, she began modifying herself more extensively, gradually increasing the number of tattoos and piercings over the years. So, the safest timeline is: around age 12, first reported piercing. Around age 14, first tattoo. After 18, body modification became increasingly extensive. Age 30, first major implant. 2012, Guinness verified 49 body modifications. The first major implant was particularly significant to her. Guinness reports that she received her first implant at age 30, placing an implant in her forehead as a symbol of liberation, strength, and empowerment. Her marriage and domestic violence. Cristerna's transformation is not simply a story about wanting to look unusual. She has repeatedly connected her extreme body modification with her experience of domestic violence during her first marriage. According to her account published by Guinness, she spent approximately 10 years in a marriage in which she felt repressed and afraid to express her real personality. She also experienced emotional and physical abuse. After leaving that relationship, body modification became part of her personal transformation. For Cristerna, the modifications represented things such as freedom, courage, personal strength, independence, empowerment, overcoming abuse, expressing her identity. She has described her body as a way of bringing things she feels internally into the outside world. This is an important distinction. She does not describe the modifications simply as an attempt to become a monster or vampire. For her, they have personal and symbolic meanings. Her extreme body modifications. Over the years, Cristerna transformed much of her appearance. Her modifications have included tattoos. A very large percentage of her body has been tattooed. Her tattoos cover extensive areas of her arms, legs, torso, neck, face, and other areas. Her tattoo work became one of the defining features of her appearance. Horn-like implants. One of the most recognizable modifications is the series of transdermal/subdermal implants that create horn-like shapes, particularly on her forehead. She also has implants on parts of her forehead, chest, arms, Guinness specifically lists these implants among her 49 modifications. Piercings. Her modifications include numerous piercings involving areas such as eyebrows, lips, nose, tongue, ears, nipples, navel. Guinness lists these among her documented modifications. Split tongue. Cristerna also has a bifurcated/split tongue, another highly recognizable extreme body modification. Dental modifications. Her teeth have been modified to create a fang-like appearance, contributing to the Vampire Woman nickname. Ear stretching. She has also modified her earlobes through stretching. Eye modification. Her body art journey has included modifications involving her eyes as well. Why is she called the Vampire Woman? Her facial appearance, particularly her horn-like implants, teeth, tattoos, piercings and other modifications, led international media to give her the nickname the Vampire Woman. However, she has also used the identity Jaguar Woman. The vampire image became particularly famous because of her fang-like dental modifications and horns. But Cristerna has emphasized that her appearance is part of her personal identity and artistic expression, rather than simply an attempt to imitate a fictional vampire. Guinness World Record. This is where María José Cristerna became internationally recognized. In 2012, Guinness World Records verified her as the holder of the record for most body modifications, female. Her total at the time was 49 body modifications. Guinness described these as including extensive tattoo coverage, transdermal implants, and numerous piercings. She held that female record for many years. However, there is an important current status correction to my previous answer. Cristerna is not currently the Guinness record holder for most body modifications by a woman. The record has since changed hands. Guinness currently lists Neska Fiorezina as the record holder with 110 body modifications, verified in Milan on January 10, 2025. In 2023, Fiorezina had already surpassed Cristerna's 49 modification record with 89 modifications, before later increasing the number to 110. Her career. Cristerna's professional background is particularly interesting because she did not begin her career simply as a tattoo celebrity. She trained as a lawyer and worked in the legal field. Later, she developed a career connected to tattooing and body modification. Guinness describes her as a lawyer, activist, businesswoman, professional tattoo artist. She eventually operated her own tattoo studio and developed a clothing business associated with her Vampire Woman identity. Her career therefore developed from traditional professional work into the world of tattooing, body art and activism. Her career. Cristerna's professional background is particularly interesting because she did not begin her career simply as a tattoo celebrity. She trained as a lawyer and worked in the legal field. Later, she developed a career connected to tattooing and body modification. Guinness describes her as a lawyer, activist, businesswoman, professional tattoo artist. She eventually operated her own tattoo studio and developed a clothing business associated with her Vampire Woman identity. Her career therefore developed from traditional professional work into the world of tattooing, body art and activism. Her children and family life. Cristerna is a mother of 4 children. Contemporary reporting has described her as the mother of 2 boys and 2 girls. One interesting aspect of her family story is that her children reportedly did not regard their mother's unusual appearance as frightening. In an interview, she described her children as accepting her appearance and simply seeing her as their mother. Publicly available sources, however, provide relatively little reliable information about the identities and private lives of her children. For that reason, it would be inappropriate to invent or speculate about their names, ages, or current personal circumstances. Her appearance in the media. Cristerna became a major international media personality because of her unusual appearance. She has appeared in television programs and documentaries dealing with tattoos and body modification. She was also featured in National Geographic's Taboo, which examined unusual cultural practices and extreme forms of body modification. Her appearance has also taken her to tattoo conventions and body modification events around the world. María José Cristerna in 2022. 2022 was not the beginning of her body modification journey. Rather, 2022 was an important year because Guinness published a detailed profile of her in December. At that point, Guinness described her as the woman holding the 49 body modification record, originally verified in 2012. The 2022 article also provided important information about her Mexican background, her religious family, her first tattoo, her first implant, her experience with domestic violence, her career, her activism, her philosophy regarding body modification. Guinness also published a video about her in August 2022, describing her 49 modifications. Her philosophy about body modification. Cristerna's approach is different from simply getting tattoos because they look fashionable. She has said that her tattoos and modifications have personal meanings. In one interview, she explained that she uses her body to express things that exist inside her. She also advises people to think carefully before making permanent modifications because their feelings and tastes can change. That makes her story especially interesting from a psychological and cultural perspective. Her body became a kind of visual autobiography. The tattoos and modifications tell the story of how she sees herself, her experiences and her transformation.